Hey guys, it's CJ from CTG Gaming back again. We're continuing on today with the Dwarves campaign that I've been playing through. We're a couple of battles in at this point, um, and what looks like is going to be an easy battle didn't end up being so easy. They had some reinforcements come in, and things got pretty juicy. Uh, so I'll run you through the army. So I've got two grudge throwers here, some miners, a whole bunch of dwarf warriors, some more miners, a couple of dwarf warriors with great weapons. Got my hero. I've got some quarrelers, and then also some thunderers. Uh, so pretty standard sort of dwarven unit. My strategy was to sort of wait them out. Their army at this point just consisted of a few big biggins, orc biggins, the forest goblin spider rider archers, which look awesome and sound awesome to say as well. Spider rider archers. Um, they got their hero and then a couple goblin wolf rider archers and just regular wolf riders. So, but then they had some reinforcements coming in from over this side, so which threw a spanner in the works. So let's get it started. Let's get it playing. So my strategy here was to try and just grudge throw the crap out of these guys. Ah, yes. That's good. Watch the armies come in. Whoa. Alright, so they sort of split their riders apart at this point to try and kind of come and flank me. Their reinforcements have not yet properly arrived. They're still a distance away. They are slowly making their way in. I've kind of reformed my ranks here to try and sort of meet them a little bit more easily, but these guys are going to be upon me much faster. That's what the dwarves can see. They're ready. So I'm trying to move some more men around just in preparation for their reinforcements. The grudge throwers still doing their thing. Grudge throwers I've found to be alright. Probably one of the weaker artillery that the dwarves can get. Like, well, they are. But they still do a decent job against orcs, for instance. So again, just trying to reform the formation here also to account for the goblin archer spider riders that are coming in. Now my thunderers and my archers are letting loose, which is fantastic. There's not too many of these guys left at this point, and they're kind of falling like flies. Yeah. But they've got a big army coming in from over the side here, and they've got their own artillery as well. What I'll do is I'm just going to slow-mo for a second here. So we've got this fight happening here. We've got some of my men moving across, but then they've got their I don't remember what these guys are called, but they're like little suicide bombers that the orcs shoot, and they like home in. Bam. Pretty crazy. So I'll show you. Where are we? Let's go have a look at these guys. So yeah, they've got a decent amount of guys over here. And I'm not sure where their artillery is sitting out here. I think these are called like Doom Divers? Doom Divers, there we go. Yeah, look, and they have like a like goblin get on, and he jumps and he flies, and he does some crazy acrobatic stunts to kill some people. So, I mean, at this point, all these dwarves over here are breaking, and for the most part, all on the charge. Goblins are like tiny, weaker, green dwarves. We got their hero storming in here as well. I wasn't too worried about this front. They had a lot of guys running away, so we were pretty stalwart. These Doom Divers were causing a bit of havoc though. Whoa. So I decided to push my men out just to try and meet them in the middle. Take a few more guys with me. Again, they're just those Doom Divers are doing a real number on my men there. Oh, I must apologize for the lag there. Not sure why that's happening. There we go, much better. So like I said, I'm pushing my army out. My tactic with the dwarves so far in this campaign has kind of been to just sit back and let the enemy come at me. That said, I haven't versed enemies with artillery before, so I was kind of worried for my guys that they were just getting smashed. I find the scenery really like sets the scene well in this game. Very Warhammer-ish. So here they're running out to meet me now. So strong. Look at that. It's like the epitome of this game, summed up in one screen. So in all honesty, if we didn't send enough of my trooped forces over at this point, I've got some guys like just running off over here. I don't know where they're going. They've decided nope. They got close to the Green Army and then decided nope. So I've still got a lot of my ranged guys left. I was trying to bring my artillery into range too. Which those aren't my artillery back there. Those Doom Divers are still coming in. Look at how many dwarves those Doom Divers are taking out. I wish it was a camera function that just like let you slowly pan the camera across or glide it. So it could be a little bit more cinematic. Anyway, here's sort of a real top-down view, the general's view. So as you can see, it was sort of even at this point. I was probably still inching it just ahead. If we have a look at the balance of power, was pretty damn even. So they were volleying their arrows. I had a bit more of a presence though here on the front lines. A lot of goblins, and the goblins, they seem good because they've got a lot of men, but really, they break easily, they're pretty weak, they don't do much damage, and even against my miners, which are my weakest military unit, the goblins really don't stand a chance. So we've got some of their orcs over here, some of their big uns, causing some havoc to my quarrelers. Their Doom Divers still going as well and causing more damage. They've had some guys come back in from the from running away, who are also stopping my ranged units. They've got a couple more units over there coming back too. So things are getting pretty intense at this point. I still had a good clump here. And this is when I sort of said, okay, I've got to kind of try and stop these arrow guys. Arrow boys, should I say. And that's when they broke them up. So I've filed the rest of my guys in now, who are getting held back up here. Those Doom Divers are still like, this is all from like the Doom Divers, these dead dwarves here. Look at that guy. He's missing an arm. He's missing, oh man, look at that. That is disgusting, but awesome. So I'm doing actually really alright at this point. A lot of the orcs start breaking, and when a few of their units start breaking, it kind of sends shivers down the spine of everybody else on their team. So one thing that I'm enjoying about the campaign is that the big sort of epic battles. I don't know, it's a 50-50, it's a double-edged sword because I like that they don't take too long, but they still feel really epic. You can get through a lot in a small amount of time, and you feel like you're really progressing through the campaign. On the other hand though, it might be cool if the battles lasted for more like 20-30 minutes. I mean, I don't know. It'd kind of make them more special, and maybe if they increased the scale even, that would be cool too, you know, like double the unit sizes, for instance, like have that maybe would just make everything a little bit more interesting. Um, that said, I think they've stuck pretty true to like the Warhammer fantasy battle esqueness of everything. Um, which is cool. So like I definitely enjoy playing through the battles, and there are some times where I think I'm glad that was just a short one, but then there are also some times where I think, ah, you know what, I wish that kind of had gone on a little bit longer. So um, anyway, I'm kind of just trying to chase the orcs down now. A couple of them are returning to the battle, kind of just a nuisance more than anything else really. Um, they've got their spider riders back. Those spider riders look pretty damn cool. But those goblins break so easily. Um, I've actually played a couple of matches as the greenskins, and the goblins to me, they're alright as ranged units. Even then they break fairly easily. In melee they're just cannon fodder, I think, more than anything. They're pretty useless. I mean, that said, they're good points fillers in multiplayer. You know, campaign's different in that regard. Campaign is like, as long as you can afford it, you can buy however many elite units you want, but you go to play multiplayer and there's a certain a set points limit. So I mean, if you needed to fill up some extra points, yeah, definitely go for those goblins because they're pretty cheap units. So I like to think that all peoples in this universe just live off the gold point system. You know, a dwarf family can't have too many little miners because then they won't be able to afford them. And they're like, oh honey, we've already got 2 hammerers. Maybe we should just have a miner now. Settle down, you know? Oh, I don't really know. At this point, the battle was really kind of dragging. Like, I kind of knew that it was going to be a victory, and I was just waiting around for their squads to break or die. I don't know where these guys are going. I was at that point where I wasn't really super well micromanaging, and I was kind of just focusing on the main bunch and trying to kill them off. That said, credit to these orcs, like they kept coming back when despite having no chance. Oh, yeah. Back in for 3 seconds and then they nope right out again. So one thing I do like though is that once a unit breaks, I think it's like 2 times or 3 times, they kind of perma break their morale and they just can't ever come back. Um, oh, that was cool. This was a messy battle at this point, you know, like ranks had been totally lost. Let's get a nice slow-mo happening here. Yeah. Definitely looks like an epic battle. They've done a good job. Oh, the chariots are charging. Just shoving men out of the way. He's like, oh, do 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 do. Okay, let's just play this because we know what's gonna happen. And have a top-down view, you know. We're spread out, but they're breaking. They've only got a couple units left, and there's the game. So they had deployed 1,200. I had deployed 1,600, so I was surprised at how close it was. Considering that I had started with more units than them. I actually lost a lot more units. I lost like 1,100 units overall, and they only lost 500. So credit to the goblins. You could argue that it was a victory for them, in all honesty. Even though I technically won. Um, that was a defense of one of my settlements, so I wasn't super prepared. Anyway, guys, that's another Dwarfs vs. Orcs video. I'll be continuing the Dwarven campaign. I'm also going to start a Vampire Counts campaign because they look pretty sweet. So you might see a video pop up for those guys soon. Definitely on the horizon. This is CJ from CTG Gaming, and if you like the videos, please subscribe, like, comment, leave me some feedback. That would be great. Until next time.